Yes.
Okay. All right. So I don't know what you guys are expecting from this class, so it might be a little bit different. It's nothing like earth-shattering, but it's just good reminders and some things that we've kind of realized over the past few years. It's how I built my business, and it's pretty simple, but it is some good little reminders. So first of all, so I took this, full disclosure, I took this from a class that I took at Family Reunion in February, and I loved it because I was like, this is everything that I'm doing, but with a little extra thing. So I took it and I tweaked it and kind of made it my own. So first of all, I don't know how long everybody's been in real estate, but going small, I think when you start, when you do, oh my gosh, we've got the master teacher in here. Now. I think when you start into real estate, like it's like drinking from a fire hose, and you have to, and even after you've been, like I've been doing this 17 years, and I still look back and I'm like, okay, well, who am I supposed to reach out to? And I tend to sometimes cast a wider net, and it's always good to go back to the basics. So if you fall, there's 4 basic steps in here, and we'll review them at the end, but number 1 and most important is always remember like to go small too. So go back and think about 2021 or your best year in real estate, or and if you don't have a best year in real estate, you just started, that's okay. We have a next slide for you on that. Go back and go back and look at who was your favorite client. Like narrow that down. Name, age. Can you switch the slide? Yeah. Awesome. Name, their age, marital status, their profession. How did you connect with that person? What attracted you to that person? Why are they your favorite client? And think about that person instead of an individual. Think about them as a group. Like, who do you want to make your target client? Because I think sometimes we get so lost in the shuffle that we just we think we should capture everybody, and you're not going to always connect with everybody, and that's fair. Like Tiffany in here has like softball. I don't know anything about softball, so I would not connect with her softball peeps because I would have I wouldn't understand it, and I'd sound like an idiot. Like I'm a soccer mom, so I connect with soccer moms, and like that is my jam, and I can tell you everything about soccer. But if you just look at even shop, I'm a shopaholic. I love to shop, so I connect with people about shopping. So I've gotten a lot of business from like a certain boutique that I go to, and I always connect and network. So my shopping is networking. But you have to look at what do they value, what are their hobbies, their biggest struggles. Like just look layers deep, because it may not be something as superficial as a shopping trip, but it might be like a struggle that they've gone to. It might be a divorce or something that you have in common, and think, okay, who would I like to reach out, and what would I like to make my my sphere? Because that's what you want to do, is you want to capture and reach out to those people instead of just going, I'm going to grasp at all these different people, and then you're going to continue to fail just trying to grab at all the buyers. You get the best relationships and the best long-lasting lifelong clients when you develop a relationship with them. So you need to have something in common with those core clients. You don't have any clients, no problem. Just find your niche. You have alumni from your school, your kids' school, your church communities, divorcees, dog owners. If you're a huge dog person, you might get clients that you go to the dog park and you connect with people there. You take your little puppy dog and you never know when you're going to meet somebody. You always have to be connecting. Always be like, I have a goal everywhere I go. This is probably a sickness, but everywhere I go, I have a goal. Like I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I'm going to talk to 3 people. I go to, and it's exhausting, but you do it. I'm going to go to the fruit stand and I'm going to talk to 3 people. Like whatever that is that I'm going, I'm going to go network. I'm going to meet 3 people that I didn't know before. So you always have to be connecting. First-time home buyers, if you love them, relocation, sports, your sorority sisters, your fraternity brothers from school, people that are moving up, military families, that's huge here, at least in Richmond, because we have an Army base. So, and then you just have to find a way to strategically connect with people. Once you've found your niche, you have to figure out ways to connect with them and connect in your community. So when I first started in real estate, I had nowhere, like I didn't know, nobody taught me anything. I was just like, now I gotta go sell. So I went and I was an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce, and which was like literally a full-time job, and you didn't get paid. But so you just go in and you go connect with people. As an ambassador for the Chamber, you would connect with people, you'd go and take them welcome packages, and they still do this, I think. You take them welcome packages and go, you know, congratulations on your business. And the relationships that I made with that were other people that were just starting in their business. And I still work with some of those people. Those people still send me referrals, because when you're starting and other people are starting, you have that common bond, and that sticks with people. And so it's more, it has longevity with just that long-lasting relationship. And I literally connect with those people and still talk with them. If that's not your jam, you can do something on a smaller, you could host a play date. So you have kids on a soccer team, or you have kids on a little league team. You can host a play date for them. Just put yourself out there and let them get to know you. When you go on to, and your kid goes onto a sports team, you have this whole new group of 15 families that you're going to be around for that whole season. Or you, and so reach out to them and say, hey, come over and swim, or come over and, or let's all meet at the local park and have our kids just kick the soccer ball around, or something like that. Because if you reach out, you're going to start building those relationships, and those 15 people introduce you to one person. So then you have 30 families that you've connected with, and those people reach out. So it just keeps on casting. You have to start with one and keep on casting that out, but you have to start somewhere. That's the key, is just, but it's, you just have to find what is your good thing. I'm not a runner. Mary Jo on my team is a runner, and she has a great running network. Again, I would have nothing to do. A lot of people, it's not always safe to run by yourself. Cars, strangers, all the things. So start a running club, or do a cookie exchange, or just find something that means something to you, and just throw it out there and just try to be the host. And again, that will continue to grow and grow. Go to a game, watch your favorite team. This is actually a good, and we're going to talk about client events in a minute, but this is a good, easy, simple client event too. Invite some of your favorite clients to meet you at a local restaurant and watch the UK game, or your favorite football game, or baseball game, or whatever, golf match. My husband's a huge golfer. So that's an easy, inexpensive way to have like a client event that doesn't cost you $1 million. Yeah, super, super easy to do that. I think we're on different slides too. Sorry. Now I'm on the same one. Okay. Post, right. So once you've determined who your group is, who your jam is, then you have to go deep with that. Like, you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key. So if you just reach out to them once and have a play date, or reach out to them and once and have one game that you invite them to at the local bar or restaurant, whatever, that's great. But you have to plan out, like at the beginning of each year, we plan out like what we're going to do, whether that's client events, that's reaching out to people on Facebook, that's just connecting. Because if you don't plan these things and you're not consistent, then you've just wasted your effort. You've thrown yourself out there. And because we all have, myself included more than probably anybody, have a fear of failure. And it's hard to put yourself out there, especially if you meet like 20 new people and you're like, do I reach out, do that? But if you just be consistent, you keep throwing yourself out there, it's gonna work. You can host an educational seminar. We personally have not done that. This is huge. We kept hearing this over and over again at family reunion. You do one educational seminar, you educate them on FHA loans or first time home buyer seminar or whatever. Probably going to be not super successful if you just do one and quit. But if you do one every other month, then it will start to kick in. If you just do one event, probably not going to work. But if you plan for a year, it's going to start to work. If you do like some small micro events, one thing that we've done, sorry, let me back up. Shifting, once you found your core, whether they're your clients or not, like I think it's important to build those relationships like I've been talking about, and different ways that you can do that is host client events, even if they aren't totally your clients yet. Like it's okay to invite people, because when we started doing client events, we were like, no, this only needs to be our clients because those are the people that have invested in us and spent money. And then that is such a small-minded way to think about things, because yes, I want to pour into my clients and that's really important to me, but how am I ever going to grow that net other than praying that they'll send me a referral? We ask for the referrals, but we're going to connect with those people if we say, hey, Sally that bought a house from us, or hey, Sally that's looking for a house, why don't you bring your girlfriend, or why don't you bring a couple of friends with us? Yeah, that's going to cost us a little bit more money, but then you've got 2 more people that you've met and you're again growing that net. That is a huge flaw that we made year over year, is we just said, bring 2 of your family members or bring whatever, and we limited those numbers because that cost, we were afraid of the cost. And one thing we realized is like we're not reaching as many people as we could. So little things that are inexpensive that you could do are, everybody loves pictures. Pictures are kind of personal though. Family or pet photos, you could do something like that. A music class for kids, like you could do something. Baking class. Justin, our team, is working on doing this. I think this is really cool. Golf scramble. I'm not a huge golfer, but he is, and that's where a big part of his business comes. So he's just going to do a fun, casual golf scramble, and it's not going to cost a ton of money. We're going to provide a couple of drink tickets and maybe an appetizer or 2. They're going to pay for their own golf, and then everybody is going to put some money in, and it'll be a fun little event. We're going to orchestrate it, but we're not going to pay for everything in it. So it's just an inexpensive way that we could get some people together. Cookie exchange at Christmas, invite some people over to your home. Everybody bring the cookies. I'm sure we've all heard about that. We think about doing it with our friends, but we don't think about like taking that other step. If you're not comfortable there, you could do it at a public place, a library or your office, whatever. Wreath making class, probably not one that I would do, not very talented with that. Neighborhood garage sale, I think neighborhood is huge. If you organize a food truck for your neighborhood, if you do a garage sale for your neighborhood, have game watch, we've talked about that a few times. Organize manicure and pedicures, that could get expensive, but it would be a fun thing to do. Spa day, again, food truck for neighborhood. Those are just ways that you can connect with different little groups, whatever your niche is. You guys have questions so far? I've just been going and rolling and no questions. Tiffany, you're supposed to have questions.
I'm thinking of stuff.
Very thorough. No questions.
Okay, so you're not supposed to now, it was the 36 touch plan, and I think this was when I got a hold of it, a 96 touch plan. Probably not going to really do that in all reality, but we do, this is what we do every year, and this is very accurate of what we actually do. And it keeps us 65% of our business year over year is repeat referral, and it's because of that consistency. We stay in touch, we reach out to people. I don't know how much we actually get from our monthly newsletter, but that's 12 touches. We don't have a huge open rate, but it does come through. They see our name, and then we have a monthly postcard. I know that's old school, but it works a lot. We do recipe postcards still. And again, I know that's old school, but we have so many people that will comment on, hey, I just made your recipe, or hey, da da da. It's almost like a running joke that I'm like the recipe girl and I don't even cook. So that is super, but you need to find something that is with you. There's like handy postcards or whatever. You don't have to do postcards, but they have been gold for us. Friendless comments. Okay. We'll go into that in just a bit, because you should have a group on Facebook. Facebook, I know, is old school and everybody does Instagram, but it is way easier to reach out to people on Facebook. It's way easier to connect with people on Facebook. We'll go into that in a minute. Birthday card, anniversary card. Here's something else we've been doing too, that is, we've gotten a much better response. So we do birthday cards and home anniversary cards or marriage cards. We buy bulk cards on Amazon and we send those out to everybody. We get everybody's birthday information at a closing. We get their birthday, we get their kids' names, we get their pets' names, we get all of that at closing, and then we send out birthday and anniversary cards. Don't get a great response from that. I think everybody's appreciative, but nobody's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. We did do St. Patrick's cards and put lottery cards in them. That was a great response. Pet sympathy cards. That's where it's at, folks. I mean, I bought these pet sympathy cards and I have mailed out a few of them, and every single person has texted me, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you did this. Nobody else reached out to me. My pet was so special to me. I'm telling you, it sounds weird, but people like, I love my dog, and if somebody sent me a card, if they passed away, they'd be my best friend forever. Like things like that stick out. Everybody tells you happy birthday, but like nobody reaches out to you and sends you a card when your pet dies or something. Yeah. So anyway, just an extra little thing that's really worked for us recently. And then those events, those are the core of our business, is truly our client events. 5 to 7 events a year. We reach out, we actually create a Facebook event, and then we send out an event about a month in advance, and have everybody interact and respond to that. And then we text an invite reminder 3 weeks before. And then we send a Facebook reminder, hey, don't forget, it's time for you guys to respond and reserve your spot in our event. And then 24 hours before, we do a reminder, text and call. And I can send all these slides to you guys, all of. And probably the week before, we also do a text or call. And sometimes the whole team will get together and we'll just do a dial-a-thon and call everybody and get confirmations. But if you're not reaching out, you have these events and then you're like, oh shoot, let's pull this together the week before. Like you're just basically blowing your money out the window. The value on all this is reaching out to them time and time again. Whether or not they come or not, doesn't matter. That's great if they come. But if not, you've reached out to them 6 times, and it's not like you're just like, hey, do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell? Blah, 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 blah. Like you're giving them something. That is so huge in this industry, is if you offer something to somebody, you give somebody something of value, they're going to feel indebted and they're going to want to reach back and love back on you. So that is just absolute gold. And then afterwards, you're going to say, hey, thanks for coming, we appreciate it, or we really missed you. You're going to want to reach out. And then 10 days after, thanks again, and here's a copy of the pictures. We haven't done photographers at all of our events, but it is probably a much better response when you do. People like to see pictures. You have to be careful about blasting them all over the internet because not everybody wants their picture on the internet. People are weird about that, but if you can, at least you can share them in that group or that event page in there. Talking about connecting. Sorry, I'm kind of hopping all over the place. Talking about connecting, if you want to target different groups, think about these Instagram, because we use Instagram and Facebook very differently. Like we do all of our just listed, just sold, are you a first-time home buyer, love on our agents, brag on our agents on Instagram, which leads over to Facebook. So we send more ad type stuff out in Instagram, but then Facebook is truly really where we connect. Do you guys have your friends in Facebook divided up into lists? I know you do. Do you guys have groups or lists for that? Okay, it's so easy to do. If you create a certain list and put your clients into, you can create a friend list on Facebook. You add your clients to that. Just be diligent, going once a quarter and adding new clients into that, new prospective clients into those lists. And then you can change the view and only post so that those clients can see that, or you're only seeing. So you take the time, say once a week, to go in and you view only your client list and see what's happening and comment on those. Just if you dedicate, I don't know, 30 minutes a week. I mean, that's huge. Those are all comments that you can do. Now, we've taken it several steps further. So we have a Facebook group, which is the Robin Jones Group client group. We do updates in there. We sometimes put community events in there. We have several hundred people in there that are seeing these events, and it's another way for us to interact, and it's free. It's easy and it's free to do. The reason we started doing that group is because we wanted to know, like, I'm a control freak, so I like to tell everybody what's best for them. Those of you that know me know that's true. But I was making decisions about, this is going to be the best event. This is going to be the best thing that we're going to do next. And if you have a group, that's where you can create a poll. So we thought of several different ideas. So one thing that we said, we said, would you like to go to a Legends baseball game, these movies, or like a pool party, something like that. And then everybody responded with which ones they want to do. So we ended up doing the baseball game, and we only invited those people that responded, yes, we would like to do that. And it was a super successful event, and everybody posted pictures. So we gave them their tickets and said, tag us on Instagram or tag us on Facebook with your pictures from the game, gave them food vouchers. And instead of forcing, like, 500 people to go to a game and, harassing them about it, we reached out and did like a micro event for the Legends game. And we had, I think, 70 some people go to that. And we had like 10 people tag us. It was way less expensive for me. Those people were super excited and grateful. And one thing this hit me, I'm gonna cry. This hit me really hard. So we do micro movie events too. We did that during the pandemic. So we could reach out. Sorry, didn't think this is gonna be a client event class, but it's my passion. So during pandemic, we did a few micro events where we could rent out small theaters, and all you could have in there was like 20 people. And so it was a really small scale. So we would invite just random clients that we thought, would be a fit for whatever movie. And we bought them those big giant bags of popcorn, one per family, that you could get for like $10 and a few movie tickets. And we had a really good response. And I was like, oh, that was nice. And then I had a listing 2 months ago, and the client called me out, and she said, I just wanted to share something with you that's kind of embarrassing, but I wanted to share it. And she's a very successful person. She has a very educated, and I thought, made a very good income, but she said pandemic hit her industry very hard. And she started crying. She said, I could not afford to take my family out to do anything. Like she said, so you inviting us to that movie was huge. She said, we couldn't afford to do it. She said, literally, I got the invite and I burst into tears. And I was like, I don't know, it just hit me really, really hard, because to me, I'm like, this is business. I'm connecting with my clients. I'm trying to keep everybody happy. And to her, it was so much bigger than that. Like it really was something that she wasn't going to be able to afford. So anyway, I think these are so important, and they really do create awesome relationships. Anyway, I digress. And then once you have, back on this, so you created a friend list. You created a Facebook group, which is your tribe of clients or potential clients. And then you determine what events that you want them to do. And then from that, or you create a poll to determine events. And then you create an event actually, and then you send the e-bites and you kind of control that. And that has been so successful. And that way you keep track of everything. It's all in one little pod, but it's been great for us. Any questions on all that?
Stephanie had a question
Yeah.
on Zoom. She asked, do you send out emails to those who are on Facebook?
We don't. We have tried. We usually just text and call those people that aren't on Facebook. We always put, if we're doing a mass client event, which we do probably 3 of those a year, like bigger client events. We do a fall festival, we're doing a pool party, and then we used to do a mass movie event, but we've started doing smaller ones. We will send that out in our newsletter, and then we individually reach out to people that, and we probably don't reach out to our whole database or our whole past clients. But we do definitely send that all in the newsletter.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So comment, kudos to you that you created a relationship that she trusted you enough to share that. That speaks to you.
It was
the connections that you
have.
have. But question about, because you touched on the friends list here, and earlier on the 56 touch, it said minimum of 10 comments per year. So is that, do you actually track that? Do you do it? Do you have people from your team writing as you?
No.
On the Facebook friend list?
No,
Like, how are you
no.
doing it?
I just take time. Everything I do, again, a sickness, everything I do is with purpose. So if I go, and it doesn't mean that it's not genuine, but I just, I'm a very goal-oriented person. So like reaching out and telling Tiffany, you're right in front of me, so I'm gonna, like I just set goals, and I'm like, I just need to reach out and comment at least 10 people. I need to say nice things to 10 people on Facebook today. And it's not always just to get clients. Yeah, it's just commenting. And that may is per year. That's not right.
Stay next. Okay.
Minimum of 10. I try to
10 a day, you're commenting.
10 a day.
Okay.
I try to comment 10 a day.
In the morning or at night? Like
Actually, in the morning when I'm
always
drinking
think
my
about
coffee,
it.
I just go in and I'm just like, I'm going to reach out and just like say kind
It's
things.
like you're-
Trisha on my team is amazing at this. She literally dedicates herself. She was on here. Yay, Trisha. She is so good at this, and she pours into her clients, and she reaches into her clients, and they will reach out to her and they give her the most fantastic glowing reviews. And like literally I'm like, darn you, Trisha, because I'm like, oh, I love da 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 commenting, and then hers is right above mine. I'm like, she beats me to the punch every time. She's so good at it. Like, she's amazing. But yeah, just set little goals of like setting, commenting on 10 people, because they don't. I mean, you get a flood of comments sometimes, but it is such a society. Like, I'd much rather tell you you're beautiful in person, but like most people don't. Like, it's just such a social media society. I mean, that's where everybody interacts. You have to kind of
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So, events are extremely intimidating, especially to newer agents, like not really knowing how to set it up, not knowing how to get the money for it and things like that.
Pick me, it's on my
So-
next,
Yeah,
it's on my next
okay.
one. Yeah, I got it.
That's like the hardest and scariest part. I got like $1,300 in 5 minutes, so like, the point is like, don't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
But just ask people how and who to reach out to. That's the most important part.
So here's my do's and don'ts. Can you go skip on to that and I'll come back? There, okay. Do's and don'ts of client events. These are things that we failed forward to learn. Some of them are very simple and some of them are like things I would have never thought about. The do's, I already talked about this. Encourage your client, don't think small, don't be miserly. Just say, hey, bring a friend because they might be more likely to attend your event. Like, I mean, how fun is it gonna be to go to something that you don't know nobody at? What if you don't have a family to bring? Like, what if it's just, you're a single individual? Which again, is why those micro events are so important. So you might say, I'm gonna bet on my single clients to like wings and beer and whatever, or whatever that looks like. But do encourage them to invite a friend because you will have a higher attendance rate and you are reaching out because they're gonna come and they're gonna go, well, Leanne did that for you, but my realtor didn't do that for me. Like, nobody's doing that for me. They gave me a Cracker Barrel card at closing. That's all I got. So it's building relationship and casting a wider net. Tiffany, invite a vendor partner to co-sponsor that with you. Like, there are people that would love to have your business. You're super successful. And if you're building up your business, just say, hey, look for another lender or a title company or some kind of vendor. We have partnered with home warranty companies, title companies, home inspectors, lenders, like all the different things. Just make a list of people that you would like to, that you love and you would have trust, and just say, hey, and it doesn't have to be $1,000 that you're asking for them. It can be $200, you know?
Like 3 people gave like 3 or 400 each, and so it was very
100%.
easy. We're all like, here we go.
Yeah.
But it was so scary to reach out to them.
No, well, and that it goes over to my don'ts. Don't be afraid to partner with somebody. Nobody's going to take your client. Like, if you and I were partner on things, and like, so we did a client event because we did like a legacy-wide client event, which was fantastic, and everybody just socialized with their clients. Nobody is like if you partner with somebody you trust, you're sharing that expense, you're sharing like coordinating it out, brainstorming, you're working together. Somebody might be thinking of something that you're not thinking of. Somebody might have a lender relationship that you're not thinking of. Like, it's just 2 is sometimes better than 1. And then, you know, they're not going to try to steal your clients. You're not going to try to steal their clients. And it's like it looks more successful as all, because if you have 10 clients, 10 past clients that you're inviting, and you only have those 10 there, and you invite 2 other realtors to partner with you, then maybe you have 40 clients there, and everybody's like, wow, look how successful Tiffany is. Like, because they don't know the difference between the 3. So there's so many reasons to partner with somebody else. I mean, like, we're all here trying to do the same thing. Does that help at all? Here's another thing on the do's. Capture information at every event, like coordinate that out, have your kid, have a friend, have somebody registering people there, because you need to be circling, you need to be talking, you need to be like getting the most out of this. And you need to have somebody, like I had my son come and cook hot dogs at an event. I'm like, listen here, get your butt over there and cook some hot dogs. And like, so that's one more thing I didn't have to worry about. Just get everybody involved, but make sure you get that information, because emails change, phone numbers change, hopefully not addresses without you knowing them. But you know, their situation may have changed. So you just want to capture new information every time. Do a community give back. This was probably the most fun thing for me that we've ever done. So we did a fall festival. I'm so sorry. We did a fall festival last fall, and we wanted to take it one step further. So I bought some prizes, and I had some prizes donated by vendor partners. And we had everybody, you got a raffle ticket for every single food item that you brought through. So people, like, I was like, oh, we might get 100 food items. No, people were bringing cases and cases of food, wanting raffle tickets, and it was so funny. Everybody was like so competitive, and then we took everything to God's Pantry after it was done. So it was so much fun, and I could have just said, okay, here's the money I spent on prizes and donate it to God's Pantry. But it was just so much more fun and bringing awareness, and it was just a really cool experience. So if you can think of a fun way to give back to the community by donations or whatever, or little raffle tickets that you give for like whatever they donate, the coat drive or a food drive or dog food drive for the humane, so whatever you're passionate about, like that's always really fun, and it's not going to cost you anything more, and people get really into that stuff. People are competitive. Do follow up after the event, because you don't want to spend all that time and money and not go, hey, did you like that? What could we have improved? You can create polls, whatever you want to do there. Do hire a photographer. Don't spend a ton of money on this. I had someone that just came and charged me like $150 to do pictures, and everybody loved it. And we ordered, oh my gosh, we did a movie event, and we ordered the Avengers. We ordered like an Amazon like kit. So we did a mini photo booth, so everybody would stop and take their pictures, and then they'd go all into the movie, and that cost me, like, between the photographer and the props, it was like $175 total, and everybody like loved that. Incorporate a mix of micro and max client events, maybe do a few small events, or the important thing is just to start with one event, and then take the opportunity to ask for referrals. Like, that's so hard and awkward. I know they say, hey, do you know anyone that's thinking of buying or selling? But that's a really awkward conversation to say. But when you're face to face, for me at least, it's a little easier. So when you're talking to them at the event, you just say, oh yeah, this market, the inventory is really low. Gosh, wow. If you know anybody, I mean, it's easier to throw it in than calling them up and saying that. So take that opportunity, because you're face to face with people that already know and trust you. And you're like so much more likely to get a client that you're not going to have to fight for if it comes in as a referral. And then schedule out the events at the first of the year. That helps you budget, helps you plan, helps you set goals instead of going, oh yeah, I think I'm going to do something next month. Like, just plan those out. I also we schedule out our networking events too. We set a goal of going to X number of networking events. Like, I went to one that Tiffany's supposed to be at. We did a hospice event on Friday. We do packleball. There's several other local events. We try to stagger those out throughout the year as well. But if you plan all those out, then it's easier to budget for them too. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait until like the week before and go, hey, I'm going to have a big client event. Don't miss the opportunity to gain touches and updated information again. Capture their information. Don't fail to budget. Make sure that you have budget. Make sure you have lender partners or vendor partners that you're going to work with. Partner up with another agent, whatever you need to do. And don't forget how impactful these are. This might just be like a client event to you, but like it could be really important to somebody. It could be an event that really is life-changing. So be sensitive to that. Like, we get so wrapped up in our business sometimes, I'm like, we kind of forget why we do it. Here's like a little, can you go back one? There we go. Here's like just a little schedule of how many events, like if you do 10 events per year, you could do 10 events targeting different types. On that first slide, we talked about like your favorite clients. So if that's single first-time home buyers that you want to connect with, like maybe you do February a cocktail making class, April a pamper night, June a pet photo event, September I changed that. I don't know why that's still like that. That's not supposed to be halfway to St. Patty's, but it's not right. A wreath making class And then 5 events for upsizing families. So if families are your jam, they got small kids, you've got small kids, do like an art class or a little pizza party. Pumpkin patch event, that is huge and it's cheap, you know, it's very inexpensive per person. November, one of our events that we tried to cancel this year and everybody was like, why aren't you doing this? Is we do a pizza and pie event. We provide pizza for everybody and they come and pick up a pumpkin pie. We do that the week before Thanksgiving and we've done it so many years in a row. We did a pumpkin patch event and we thought, well, that'll cover it. And everybody at the pumpkin patch is like, we'll see you next month. And I'm like, what? So we did have to scramble and pull that together. But, and once you start doing these events, once you start connecting to people, they tell people about it, they expect it, they love it. And again, our rate of return is just, it's astronomical. Like people send us people, they feel like they just trust us and they're like, they feel like we're family. It's very strange. So basically here's a wrap up is how you do it. You go small. You first find your niche. You don't try to grasp at everything. Then you strategically connect and figure out if volunteering at the chamber is the right thing for you, if you just want to attend networking events. Once you've figured out that group, then you go deep. You organize your Facebook, you organize your friend groups, you do events and seminars, and you consistently reach out to them. Consistency is the key. Like whatever it is, there's no wrong answer. It's just consistency, which is so simple, but we're really bad at it. So anybody have any questions? That was so fast, sorry. Questions?
Somebody asked, how do you handle events when your clients are in different counties?
That is a good question. So we have a large group of people in Madison County and Fayette County. If you're going to grow your area, Tommy, what area in particular?
Like for me, they're like spread out, you know, in Lexington, Richmond, Danville, Carlisle. They're literally everywhere.
So Tommy, I think that probably we had a really good, because we have that too. We have Georgetown, Versailles, Winchester, Madison, but Lexington is your largest like central hub, and finding something neutral, because most everybody goes to Lexington for this or that. So I would find, and if it's not Kentucky, whatever your largest local hub is what I would do for sure. Like we had a great response and we were able to invite everybody Central Kentucky for the Lexington Legends game. So that was a nice, so I think just do a mix and just watch who you invite to who. Like you might have just Madison County people for something and you might have all of Central Kentucky for something in Lexington.
Okay, thank you.
More to offer in Lexington too, I think. Because I mean, we don't have a ballpark here, and or you could do a pumpkin patch that's more Central Kentucky or something. Anything else? Yay. Skippy.
This is like super random, but like touching on that. So I have a friend that puts on softball tournaments all the time. So he's actually helping me like co-host a tournament at the end of October, like the end of the season. So we were able to actually get the Lexington Legends Stadium for that.
Oh, fun.
So like people from even out of state are coming to that. So we already have like 15 teams that have committed. Like
You better be on that PA system.
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, my whole like sign logo on one of those like big flashy light thingies.
But like
So
take
I got
advantage of that. Think of all the different ways that you can
And I don't have to pay for anything.
connect with people.
Like nothing,
Like,
because
I
the
love
team
that.
entry fees will pay for the field, and then the umpires will be paid for with team entry fees, and then they're gonna open the concessions and have like the 50-cent hot dog like they do on Tuesdays and
Yeah.
stuff. So like, and literally everything is paid for by somebody else. I'm not paying a dime.
I
And I
think
get to
sporting
play.
events are like the best thing, because like you're not paying for anything, or if you do like a
Yeah.
golf sprinkle, like
Yeah,
you're not paying, I mean, like you can get teams.
and golf scrambles are like, they're not super hard to organize. I mean, if the guys at my husband's work can put them together, I think anybody can.
Yeah, yeah, and people love that, they're always, it's just funny, because they're not expensive, because everybody put their own team in, and then you just have to get some partners to provide some food and.
Those are the funnest too. Like, I feel like that creates so many memories and stuff too for people that they like the interactive stuff a lot better than just showing up and sitting at a table and being awkward.
Oh, yeah, I think if you have, yes, so that thing that I went to Friday night, that's how it was.
That's what John said. I'm like,
Oh, it was
well.
weird. Yeah, it was very strange, so I don't sit very well, so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go like talk to random groups of people, and that's what I did. I was just like, talk to me. Because everybody was just sitting there, it was very strange.
The hospice event is what she's talking about. So Friday, John opened for the hospice event that they did for Hospice Care Plus. And I was supposed to go to it, but I had a softball tournament that I thought was closer than it was. So I had to go the night before, not the day after. So I left Robin on lonesome, and John was so sad because I wasn't there, and they were just all super awkward because it was such like a random assortment of people.
It was like, I can't even explain.
John sent me a video at one point in time, and I'm like, well, that's interesting.
It was like, a really awkward wedding reception is what it was like. It was like everybody was sitting there, like at their own table, not interacting, so I finally was like, I'm just gonna get up and wander around, like, very strange.
I feel like client events too, like that speaks to those, like, the micro events are better than doing one big, huge event with a bunch of people that are on that mesh. It's better to do little bitty ones with everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, I feel like you need to have an activity for people to do, like, because then, like, I couldn't do this, but if you had somebody talented, Michelle should do a wreath flaking, like have her do, like she could do like a flower arrangement class for her clients or something like that, because then people are busy doing something. I'm having Michelle come teach a flower arrangement class. But then they're busy doing something and they're not just like, strange.
We don't have any more questions from Zoom.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
If you guys want those slides, I'll have Renee send them out or whatever.
Thank you.